Continuing the conversation with Brian Deed from the State Election Board, just about voting, I want to touch on voter fraud during this segment. A Department of Homeland Security official just came out and said that the voting systems for 20 different states were targeted by hackers. Was Oklahoma one of those?
We don't have any indication we've been targeted. We did have a meeting with the FBI last week in our office just to kind of go over our system and how it works and kind of make sure that our system was good, and they were very complimentary of it, and we don't have any indications anybody's targeted us specifically, and the FBI did not relate any specific threats against us or anything like that, but we're obviously aware of what's been going on across the country.
And tell me, what would those red flags look like if we had been hacked?
Well, it's important to know that the hackers are not targeting voting machines or the apparatuses of voting that would make the integrity of the election suspect. So our machines, for example, and voting machines across the country, they're not networked. They aren't connected to the internet or any sort of network, so they're not able to be remotely accessed or hacked or anything like that. What's been targeted in these states is their voter registration databases, and essentially what's happening is that people have had their voter registration information compromised so that the hackers could see it. And what you'd worry about there would be particularly Social Security numbers and driver's license numbers. And so
Gotcha.
We obviously want to protect that information, but there's no real indication here that results or anything like that could be threatened.
Okay, and the FBI coming to state officials saying be extra vigilant in fortifying our local systems here. So what does that mean for you? How do you make sure that they're safe?
Well, we're fortunate in Oklahoma. This is one of the areas where we're actually really ahead of the game here. Most states are working with voting machines and voting software that's more than 10 years old. Ours were actually bought in 2012. And so they're only 4 years old.
Fairly new, yeah.
And the system is fairly new. And so we have a lot of security features that most states don't have. For example, on our machines, if you look, we have a spot here for, this is where the data storage devices are. They're under lock and key during an election. But when you open that up, these are storage devices, just like a USB port, and they actually have a digital signature that's encoded on them. That if somebody tries to access it, it gets obliterated, and there's no way then to recreate that, and ballots won't scan on the machine. So if anybody tried to tamper with the voting storage devices or alter the files or anything like that, there'd be no way that it would ruin the machine, and so you wouldn't be able to scan ballots. So we have a lot of good things to protect our elections.
Okay, and want to get your perspective on this. A new Associated Press poll just came out stating that half of Trump supporters don't trust the vote count. Actually, a third of Republicans don't have confidence that their vote matters. What's your response there?
Well, I mean, again, I think the real goal of these hacks is to undermine the legitimacy of our elections and to make people not have confidence in it. And what people need to understand is what the real threats are. And what we would look for is obviously if somebody was trying to make a computer intrusion on our network. And, there's no such thing as a completely safe network. But again, the type of information that could be accessed is voter information, which we want to protect, but it's not anything that would compromise the integrity of the election. So we want everyone to understand that in Oklahoma, your vote's going to get counted, and it's going to be reflected in the results.
Okay. Brian Dean with the State Board of Elections, thank you so much for joining us today. We so appreciate your time. We know it's a crazy time for you. Things are really about to ramp up.
Everybody got to go out and get registered.
Go out, get registered, and get your vote in. Thank you so much.